violinist, a vocalist, a composer and a producer.
And I'm also a violinist, a vocalist and a composer.
And together we combine these skills to cross over the classical instruments and classical techniques with pop music, covers and other interesting creations. Well, how do we start the process? I think it started one evening when I was just staying up really late because I thought, you know what, I'm not sleepy, I'm just going to organise my day. So I had a look in your diary to see what you were doing the next day so I could organise my practice rooms, and I saw this little post-it note saying "Live to Rise" scribbled on it. I thought, hey, there's a lyric. The 2 weeks beforehand we'd been working at our conservatoire on a project based purely on pop songwriting or just other kinds of songs, and we were used to kind of working together anyway, so I came up with some draft lyrics at first. No melody in mind, no music in mind at the moment, and my draft lyrics were immediately rejected because it just sounded like a song about being down. So we spoke together, we worked a bit on rephrasing the lyrics, and then those kind of formed, and then what did we do with the melody? How did that come about?
What's really helpful is that Matt takes care of the production side. So I recommended that he finds a beat or a specific sound that we can make the song characteristic by. And through having the lyrics, that means we have a structure, which is very helpful when you want to just glue things in musically and be a step closer to creating a full piece. So I think we found a riff, which is kind of the next thing you would be looking at when you're writing a song or a piece.
Just a little short idea, wasn't it?
A little hook, something memorable, or a melody that will go with the lyrics. And from that on, you just, it's like with painting, you have the outer frame and you would add little sounds that you gradually start to hear or experiment with.
I mean, to my recollection, I did all of the synthesizers, all like the synthesizer instruments, all the kind of techie sounds behind it. But you actually worked really, because I did some initial stuff like drafts on the word placement, how, you know, what notes go with what word, and I mean, you actually did all of that in the end.
So we work collaboratively, and you know, one person does a little bit of draft, the other person can say, how about placing it a bit differently, singing it to one another, or even recording yourself singing to a backing track.
That is useful.
Very, very good.
That is super useful, because like the number of times we've lost ideas through not recording them, and they've sounded different. We've had feuds over this. You you nearly ripped me apart for forgetting something.
You learn, especially in a creative process like that ideas come very easily, but they also disappear.
And they get lost in an instant.
If you can notate music, do it through that.
If you can notate it quickly, even better.
Yes. Or if not, if you're still developing that skill or want to learn that skill, just simply use your phone and record that idea so it's there, just in case one day you want to come back to it or develop it. Today we're presenting to you Live to Rise single that we just released.
Well, the ideas behind it were actually, you'd had a pretty bad day, and I was thinking, all right, it's the middle of the night, I'm too tired to do some proper songwriting, I'm just gonna spend my time seeing what you're doing tomorrow just so I can organise my day. So I looked in your diary just to see kind of what your schedule was like, and I found this little post-it note, and it had scribbled on it, Live to Rise, and I was thinking, hey, there's a lyric, why not? And I came up with, the cool thing about songwriting and pop songs is you only need to think of about, like, you know, this much music, because you've got a verse, you've got a chorus, and you've got a bridge or a breakdown. You know, you've only got to think of 3 little bits of music, and then it's just copy and paste from there.
And it's a lot about a lyric that begins your ideas. So obviously Live to Rise has a very strong meaning behind it, and we thought that through combining or classical training with production, we can inspire people and also give them words to sing to that will motivate them to keep going, because even now we can admit that we all live in very struggling times.
Oh God, life is really hard.
And
I mean, saying this from a first world country, you know, we are relatively privileged, but even so, everyone goes through hardships at some point.
And it's just really great to share that through music. That is very important.
It's good to encourage people as well.
Because in the end it all works out, it has to.
Yeah.
And it's great to have something to keep you going, and I think personally for us the song is keeping us going with all projects and ideas, and hopefully it will keep you going too and inspire you just to stay strong and positive and open-minded. So our advice would be to start planning now what you would like to share with your audience, and create content. So any ideas that spring to your mind about what you actually want to create in the future, just make a list of all of these points and schedule, even weekly or by month, or what you would like to achieve, and also keep your audience updated, because in the end they would like to see the process as well as the final product.
Yeah, they really want to see a story with artists and uprising artists as well. And actually, you almost went on to something I wanted to mention, which was, it's relating to planning. Leave as much time as you possibly can for this stuff. I mean, honestly, right, the song itself took about, a week to write or something like that.
Yeah.
So, in preset, like, it doesn't seem like a terribly long and arduous process, but one of our teachers here, who does all this songwriting and recording as a career, he says about 5% of it is actual fun and the rest of it is really hard work. Because we tried to mix it ourselves at first, and first of all, stuff wasn't sitting right in the mix. It sounded like some of the drums were overwhelming. Sometimes because of the room we were in, it would sound different. All sorts of stuff came up, which is why the whole thing has taken us just over 3 months to produce one song. And that's actually why because we were advertising this as a 4-track EP. You know, we were gonna say it was this big thing, but it was then reduced to a single because of time constraints. So just leave as much time as you possibly can for it.
And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to collaborate and ask other people who are aspiring to do a similar thing, or producers and people who master tracks. So sound engineers, because that often is a process that you would go for as an artist. You have to work with people in the end to get another view on your product, because if you only rely on your own opinion, then it will become a little bit biased. So you have to always ask friends and even family what they think of it.
And don't be afraid to have bad days either, because if you think, oh man, this hasn't gone right, I'm going to give up, that's absolutely not the right approach. If you can call there being a right and wrong approach, because we had our bad days all the time. Like, we had feuds over this, we had so many arguments.
It can get very stressful, but the most important thing is give yourself time, enough time to achieve what you want to achieve.
Enough time to think. Well, who do you reckon you'd want to collaborate with in the future?
Well, it would be amazing to play for Coldplay. That's been personally my big dream. But I think just sharing the stage or supporting bands such as Half Moon Run or an artist called Lol Raw would be fantastic. So
That'd
I think
be incredible.
it's those kind of artists who have inspired us to do something like this.
I mean, definitely if we could do some stuff with, I mean, certainly from my perspective, with Savant or Jared Dines or Demon Hunter, that would be amazing. Just, yeah.
So I think the next steps for us will be releasing the actual EP that we intended to, 4 tracks around June and July time, and
it'll be cool to like release them as discs as well, like get them into shops as well.
Physical as well as digital, because
That'd
currently we are mainly digital distribution, so looking into physically connecting with our audience.
Yeah. I think there's another thing that we're planning, which is like a little Christmas album, which would be quite cool.
Yes.
We've got to get writing those in the summer.
And alongside to actually making music, we want to perform live, both original tracks and also collaborations with composers and a couple of covers, because that always is.
So, if you guys want to get in contact with us, probably the best way is through Facebook. If you can't search straight for Mattalia on the internet, go on Facebook and it's at Mattalia Duo.
You can also watch what we're up to on YouTube, so it's Mattalia Duo there. And
there's links to all of the stuff on Facebook as well.
Yes, and Twitter is if you want to tweet us about Live to Rise or any appearance that you've seen.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Know.
Feedback is really valuable.
And in terms of our music, you can find it on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Patreon, and in a few days you can find it also on Spotify, Amazon.
And iTunes, Google Play.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon.
Bye.